Do you love making movies?
No, that's where I'm going.
You wanted to do, yeah.
So it's strenuous for me, but I can tell that it's strenuous for me because it's not my passion.
So why?
You gotta love it to do it. You have to, because you're waking up at truly, it's torturous, really.
So why do you sign on to Francis Ford Coppola's
Megalopolis?
Okay.
Because he's Francis Ford Coppola.
But you auditioned. You made that active decision.
No, I didn't audition.
Really?
No. My managers at the time got a call and they were just like, Francis Ford Coppola wants to meet you.
Wait. That's crazy.
And I was like, okay. And yeah, I went to just his personal home and there were all these executives and producers and I didn't know I was there and I just sat down with him. He's like, do you want a cup of tea? And I was just like, okay. And then I was just like, hey, how are you? And he started telling me about this miraculous movie that he's making. I was just like, okay, that sounds cool. And he told me about this character and we kind of just discussed the character. And I think that he really likes to have discussion. Luckily, I hit the lottery with that one because some people could be offended. And I think it also goes into what I was saying about fame. I don't really view people in that way. I don't really care. I care about creation and what you make in you as a person. And so we just kind of started discussing the movie very objectively. And then I remember he was referring to songs in the movie and I made a joke and I was like, are you thinking I'm gonna write these songs? And he was like, oh yeah, the two songs. He already made the decision that I'm like, okay, I'm just in the movie and apparently writing 2 songs now. But honestly, that was the best movie experience I made.
I mean, yeah, to work with him is crazy. Mm-hmm. But how do you approach that role different than whatever you've done in the past, which is those 2 Disney Channel movies?
It was easy. It's easier with him.
Really?
Because dude, okay. Before that, I swore off of acting. I was like, I'm never doing anything ever again. And that's why it was a Coppola film, so we said yes. But I'm so happy it happened because it completely reformed my view of the process because I never got it. Painting, I'm a strong believer, art is art is art is art. The way that I would put in a deep bass or something, if I'm starting to say anxiety-inducing words, you take a strong bristled brush and go this on the bottom, or a contorting of tension in the body, even in modeling and photography. I understand that string, never with acting. I didn't get it. It didn't click. It didn't click for me. I didn't understand it as an art. I was like, okay, is this an art? Because I'm not feeling this at all.
Really?
I don't feel any artistic connection to this at all. And then Francis came along, and the way that he made movies is exactly how a musician would make a song. And I was like, okay, so this is how I get this. I totally get what you're doing. I get this. Because he would rewrite on napkins the whole scene in the moment. No one knew the ending of the movie as we were filming it. Because we would start doing something and then they'd be like, oh no, that's the line. And then he'd be like, no, because this is naturally happening and something is in the air taking, you know that feeling when you're creating something and something enters the room? Yeah. It's this is going. This is almost like a possession.
And that's what he goes off of.
And he would identify that and feed it, and not be afraid of it, because I feel like that is the worst artist in my opinion, of that possession comes into the room, but you continue to try to control this as your maybe your baseline idea or something that you really, really want to do. And in my opinion, you have to follow that fluidity. And he did that. It was really, really cool.
That's crazy. Because usually they don't do that on a movie set or a TV show set.
Yeah, that was, it was crazy.
That's amazing.
It was crazy.
Do you watch The Godfather before just to kind of see?
I had to.
You did?
I literally had to. Yeah, but.
Were you at Cannes when there was a 7-minute standing ovation?
Huh?
There was a 7-minute standing ovation, apparently, for the movie?
Girl, my hands were tired.
Were you there?
I was looking around the room. I was like, who's going to sit down first? I think we all equally were just in peripheral watching each other of who's going to sit. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be you. 7 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. It deserved it, but it was like, I was like, after minute 5,
You're looking around like,
stretch out the wrists a little bit.
Did watching Francis Ford Coppola work change the way you approach music this time around? Or influence it at all?
Yeah, actually, yes. Because there are huge visual components in this album that you will soon see that I think I got very fascinated naturally, and then he also fed into it with the use of like multimedia storytelling. So I have always loved production partnering with melody and words already. I think that it's an incredible thing that I can make you feel something that words can't describe. And I do think that there's like almost like an immersive subliminal aspect to that with production, with like, there are just ways to implant feelings into people, and I think that's genuinely magic on earth. But then the, like, you know, growth of that was starting to also be interested in like color, symbols, and like world building in the sense of storytelling. And I really wanted to make something like incredibly intentional, almost like a movie that people could decipher and pick apart. And even if you don't pick it apart, your brain is picking it up and you don't realize.
It's true.
You know?
I've listened to the album a few times now, and that's true. Like, even if
you hear it audibly?
Yeah. No, if you passively listen to this thing, like you drop like really deep, like just you can passively pick up on a lot of stuff, but then if you go back, you hear new stuff every listen. It's very
that's
intricate.
amazing. Wow.
No, it's really
Means a
well
lot to
done.
hear.